Hey there YouTube, this is SGM4306 back with yet another New Year's video. This is one of the first videos that I'm making of the new year. I wanted to do something a little different. I normally don't accept things like super outside of my tech comfort zone, I guess. But I've been having some car trouble recently, and a company called Thinkscan reached out to me to review a new product of theirs. This guy is a diagnostic tool. It's basically an OBD eye reader, or whatever you want to call it, for diagnosing problems with your car. It is a Android tablet. I suspected it was an Android tablet, and then I received it, and then I verified it was an Android tablet. Yeah, it's basically an Android tablet with a special port on the top that connects to like a DE12 or something. I don't know how many pins this has. Connector then that goes into the OBD port on your car, and that's how you can do diagnostic scans. That's how, you know, the actual car repair place does it. And yeah, it comes with a very nice case, nice, decent, thick manual, and a bunch of different AC adapter ends, the charger, and then a USB, like a very nice USB cable for charging it up. Just going to get this out of here for a sec and look at the tablet itself, and let's turn it on. And while we're waiting for this, we have a nice rubberized orange, well, reddish orange power button. It has nice big, like, thick rubber bumper, so if you drop it, it stands a chance at surviving. Feels like this is metal. Very thick, like, nice ABS on here. We have the OBD port attachment port cable thingy there. Full-size USB port, and this is apparently, they sell a bunch of different accessories to augment what types of tests you can run, and all of them basically plug into this USB port. So this is like a USB host. We have a USB-C port for charging. We have the back of the unit with like a little speaker. And there you go. You can actually see that. Little speaker grill there. We have the model numbers, the Thinkscan 672. They have a bunch of different models, different screen sizes, different capabilities on what it can scan, do, and whatnot. And yeah, it is very well made. And we are already booted up. You can manually enter your vehicle information, or just have it auto scan. You will have to download. There are like specific support packages for different models of cars, and so I went through it. I just downloaded everyone that was available, even though I don't own all the cars, just in case if I ever did have to diagnose, you know, I don't know, a Lamborghini or whatever, I could. But yeah, I have a Honda CR-V, and they did have a package for that, so I downloaded it, installed it, and then was able to run a scan on my car, and you'll see in a sec what it exactly came up with that. But yeah, you can see here, it literally is just Android. I have it connected to my Wi-Fi right now because that's how I got the diagnostic data off of this. I believe you can just plug a thumb drive into here, and there is a file browser built in, and it's literally just Android. If I go to, what is it, more, and then apps, no, is that settings? No, that's settings, remote assistance, gadget. There you go, it's gadget. Enter that. I can access Chrome. It's just a regular web browser. And file management. So file management, this is literally just straight up Android. To go back, you just swipe from any edge and it'll go back. Chrome, I think I tried, did I ever? Yeah, I did try to go to YouTube and watch one of my videos. This is not its purpose, obviously. I just wanted to see if this would work or not. It is kind of slightly older version of Chrome. There's no way I know of to update it. And great, we're having an ad now. There is volume control here. You have to pull down the shade to get it. I can mute it. Let's just skip that ad because they did not pay me to do anything. And we are watching one of my videos, albeit selected a really low quality. There we go. So 1080p, I can full screen it. We're watching, this is super meta. We're watching one of my trailer. We're watching my trailer on a car diagnostic tablet. Sure. And if I want, I can just back out of that. How do I? There we go. Unfull screen it. And then back, back. There you go. So anywho, we have a couple tabs. We have diagnose. You can search by car, just read codes, view the history, generate a report, which I did, and it's basically you can just generate it as a PDF and then email it to yourself or send it over Bluetooth. And you can have feedback. So there's apparently like a whole community called the $Fix community. I guess it's surrounded about this device, or I don't know. They have a bunch of different attachments for debugging a bunch of different stuff. So just going through it real quickly. Air fuel ratio reset, ABS bleeding, your front light system, some reset things, suspension, airbag, battery, brake pad, water pump, DPF, regen, EGR adaptation. I have no idea what like half of this means. Electronic throttle, gear learning, gearbox learning. You can do apparently key fob matching, but it needs to be the IMMO system. So it's probably more expensive. Cars are probably proprietary, I'm going to guess. So you can't do that. But apparently you can buy, if you lost a key tag, if you lost a keyless entry key, you can apparently like repair your car to a brand new one. And normally I know from past research I've done, it's super expensive to get this done at, the dealership, but the key fob itself is like cheap. It's like under 100. It's like 50 or 80 bucks or something, but they charge you like up to like 500 or 600 to pair it to your car. So this one day might come useful. I've never lost my key fob, so I don't need it right now, but it's cool that it potentially could be used for that. Injector coating. You can change your vehicle system language. I wouldn't want to do that, but I guess if you did want to, you could, which is cool. Your knock sensor reset, odometer reset. That's kind of sketch, but sure. Oil reset, seat calibration, steering wheel angle reset. There's like so many settings. Start-stop settings, sunroof, TPMS. I've had issues in the past with my tire sensors, so this actually would have been useful in the past. Transport mode, tire, interesting spelling on tire, size adjustment, Windows calibration, and if you want to just view everything. Okay, I get it. Stop it. If you just want to view everything on one list instead of going one by one, you can readjust the ordering too. And we have our upgrade section, download basically what I said, the list of all supported vehicles you can download. I just downloaded everything. And it does seem like there was a couple of updates between me getting this, like the past 2 or 3 weeks I've had this. There were some updates as well. So it looks like it is like a community that is like constantly updating software and stuff. So that's good. There's some maintenance software and application software. So that's like the OS if they do have updates available. We have settings, which will just take you kind of into like Android settings sort of thing. You can take screenshots on here, by the way, and you can record the screen. So if you're doing some diagnostic stuff and you want to record it for the customer or whatever, assuming you're not using this for personal use, I don't know. You can do all that. Brightness, it doesn't get super bright. It gets bright enough, but if you're outside in your car, it is a glossy screen, so it is slightly distracting. And you can change settings for like metric imperial, time mode, whatever, etc., etc. Can be connected to computer after activation. That's interesting. Factory reset, all this stuff. You can cast your screen. That is interesting. I'll have to try that later. And we have our device info and whatnot, the serial number, etc., etc. And I did try what was it? Like the hack to like get into the developer mode. It asked for a password. I have no idea what the password is. So theoretically, you could get into the developer mode and probably like install your own apps and stuff, but it's locked down from the factory. So anyway, this is if you want a tablet, you just buy a tablet. This, by the way, I forgot to mention the price for this is not super cheap. I think this is like $300 or $400, and this is like, it looks like a mid-range model there, so they have ones more expensive and some slightly cheaper, I think. But yeah, you get this to debug your car, basically. This isn't a toy. This isn't a general Android tablet. And so, yeah, and we'll just put that to sleep for a sec. And I will show you, I did a full scan of my car. Okay, we are in my Honda Civic. It is quite cold, so I have gloves on. I guess I've never used the OBD port. I've never actually scanned anything. I've never had one of these before, so I just have it plugged in, and I suppose the car needs to be started. It does say my battery is 11.94 volts. So just get this started. You can see it instantly jumped up to like 14 point something. So it's obviously, you know, charging or whatever. So let's just do an auto search. So it did find my VIN. I'm just going to cover that, I don't want to dox myself or anything. And it is a Honda CR-V. It detected it. Okay, and it finished scanning. And I don't know what this is all about. I guess I'm just going to see. It's saying retrieving vehicle information. Health report. Sure. The engine is not... Oh, I have to shut off the car, actually. Okay, so the ignition should be on, but engine should not be running. Okay. And we're going through, and it's saying 10%. It's going through and, I guess, scanning for fault codes on the ECM and the transmission control module, TCM. And now it's going on looking for the anti-lock braking system stuff, etc., etc. Inflatable restraint system, power steering. So yeah, it's just going through and scanning everything. It's saying not equipped. I have no idea why, what. But yeah, I'll just let this finish, I guess, and get back to you guys. Probably let this finish and then take this inside to actually look at it. It's too darn cold outside today. But anyway, I generated this PDF report, and I did a full scan of my car, and it found 2 faults. Pretty much everything's okay, except for, it said a body electrical system fault, 1 fault for the BCM, and EBB, the electronic brake booster, found a fault. And if I go down here, it describes what those mean and what the exact fault code is. It says my tailgate closer unit ratchet switch circuit malfunctioned. And I figured out it's been very cold and, you know, snowy and icy recently. I found that my rear hatch wasn't shut all the way, basically. And so the actual lock couldn't fully actuate, I guess, is what it's saying. So it was shut, but it wasn't like fully latched. And I found that there was like a bit of ice that had built up and was preventing it from like fully closing. And I didn't really notice. My car occasionally like beeps at me when I get out, and I guess some of those beeps was a warning for this. I just didn't really pay attention to it until I scanned this, and I found the ice. I cleared it off and chipped it away a little bit, and then I shut it and actuated it, and it no longer gives me this error code. So that's good. It helped me figure that out. The second one, I think I'm gonna have to do a little more work. After I came back from Korea, my battery died. Like I had a family member come and start my car while I was gone so that my battery wouldn't totally run down. But apparently, I guess it's that in combination with the cold, not starting it every day and it being super cold. My battery just completely died. It wouldn't start. And so I had to get a new battery. I installed it myself. I noticed one or both terminals were pretty crusty. I tried cleaning it off the best I could manually with like a little wire brush, but it's saying that the electronic brake booster is encountering low voltage from, you know, the positive terminal of the battery bank or whatever, the car battery rather. So I did look this up online, and people were saying it's probably due to the terminals being dirty, kind of. So it's adding higher resistance. So even though it's not that the battery has a low voltage, it's just that the contact resistance is unacceptably high, so it causes a voltage drop across the contact. And so my car is noticing that the voltage isn't quite as high. And I noticed when I had this plugged into my car, the the car was off. You can still measure the battery voltage. It was only like 11 point something volts, which is definitely low. Once I started the car, that jumped up to like 14-ish. But I think this is correct that I need to take a better look at cleaning those terminals and making sure that they're nice and squeaky clean before I clamp them down onto the battery. And yeah, that's really the only two issues that it found. And that sort of tracks with what's happened recently and what I've seen, et cetera, et cetera. There's nothing majorly wrong with my car. I just wanted to get something like this because one day there probably will be something wrong, and it would be nice to know myself, to be able to scan it myself, to know what's wrong before I take it to like a mechanic or whatever. Oh, it found a software update. Sure, let's download it. So I can just go ahead and download here. So yeah, apparently it will, when you just turn it on, as long as it's connected to Wi-Fi, it will scan for updates. And yeah, so anywho, once again, huge thanks for ThinkCar for sending this guy in for review. This isn't something that I would normally review, but I think this is something that will be very useful going forward. So I thought I would get my hands on one and start playing with it and trying to learn how to do this kind of testing and stuff like that. I do want to get better at, like, I'm good at fixing things, but I never really tinkered with my car because, you know, the cost of failure is pretty prohibitive, both financially and because I literally need my car every day, so I can't exactly disassemble it and hope that I'm able to fix it so that I can go to work like tomorrow sort of thing. So it's not something that I've been into before, but I kind of want to get into this as not just a hobby, but a way of saving money and whatnot. And yeah, even though this is not a cheap tool to have, I think this will be invaluable for diagnosing things at home before I even take it to a mechanic, if it's something that I can't repair myself. So it'd be good to know this, how to use this as a tool. Anywho, I'm sure a lot of you guys are into, car repair and modding and whatnot. So let me know if you have something like this down below in the comments, if it's something that you find super useful, or if it's something that you think is, unnecessary and expensive, and you can find other ways of diagnosing stuff without using like an automated tool like this. Yeah, just let me know in the comments below. And if you guys are interested, I will have a link down below to ThinkCar's store, as well as the sales page for this if you want to pick one up yourself. Anywho, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.